until Wednesday, visit Shoppers Drug Mart for the bonus redemption event and get more for your points. A Shoppers Drug Mart exclusive. Restrictions apply. Offer valid in-store and online. With the forecast for Ottawa and the Valley, here's weather specialist Denise Andriacci.
Clouds building in later this evening, and that snow is very steady through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning's commute. Now, we may have a few flurries lingering this evening as well. The main event is overnight through Tuesday morning, so heads up that your commute will be impacted tomorrow morning, even into the afternoon, and then things taper off. Gusty winds for Tuesday out of the east. For this afternoon, mainly sunny cloud and guaranteed high -6.
And right now in Ottawa, -6, mainly cloudy. It's -5 in Smiths Falls. City News time is 3:13. Now the City News market update. From the business center, here's Ari Rubinovich.
Within the final hour of trading now for the Monday session, we're still looking at gains, although backing off from highs for the day. The TSX is still up about 0.25%, just shy of 50 points at 20,268. Some of the better performers on Bay Street include shares in Manulife Financial up by just shy of 1%. We also have a slight gain for Suncor Energy as well as Cenovus Energy, as natural gas is higher by almost 6% and nearly 25% higher since last week. We do have it still, though, at a close to 2-year low overall. The Dow Jones is up by 55 points, the S&P 500 by 0.4%, and the Nasdaq by 65 points. Commodities mixed with oil slightly lower at $75 U.S. per barrel. Gold futures up $7.50, $1,825 the ounce. The Ludi is at 73.64 cents U.S., up almost 0.2 cents. At the City News Business Center, I'm Ari Rubinovich.
The City News Ottawa Market Minute is brought to you by Dynamic Funds.
How can you minimize inflation risk? Step 1. Talk to a financial advisor. See why advice matters, now more than ever. Visit dynamic.ca/advice to learn more.
You have anxiety about working in the office, anxiety about COVID, and were diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, but your disability claim was denied. My name is Aaron Waxman, and if your disability claim is denied for any reason, call me at 1-844-583-4878 or pound LTD. And don't worry about upfront legal fees, because there are none. At my law firm, my lawyers only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 1-844-583-4878 or on your cell phone at pound LTD.
Get a fresh start today at TSC with amazing savings on top brands and products. Save up to 20% on exciting home favorites, including air purifiers and bedding from brands you love, like Home Suite and Air Innovations. Turn big purchases into small payments with interest-free Easy Pay on everything you need to live happy and healthy. Shop now at tsc.ca. Today's shopping choice.
Number 1 for local news in Ottawa and the Valley. This is City News on 101.1 FM and 1310 AM.
It's mainly cloudy right now in Ottawa, -6 under a snowfall warning. Good afternoon. I'm Perushka Gopal-Kista. Here's what's making news right now. Time to bring out the snow shovels once again. Ottawa and most of eastern Ontario under a snowfall warning, where we could see about 15 centimeters of snow tonight. The popular social media app TikTok will be banned from all government devices over cybersecurity concerns. The president of the Treasury Board, Mona Fortier, says the decision is precautionary and there's no evidence that any government information may have been compromised. Time now for City News Sports from Sportsnet. Here's Alex 60.
Well, the NHL trade deadline is coming up on Friday afternoon, and Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman says the Sens are, still looking to add a defenseman.
I do think they've called the Capitals about Jensen and Van Riemsdyk. I do believe there was potentially some re-engagement with Minnesota on Dumba, but that obviously hasn't happened either. I think they called Arizona again on Chychrun, but I just don't think there's anything there because I just don't think they like the price.
Sens and Red Wings open a 2-game series at Canadian Tire Center tonight. Detroit 3 points back of the second wildcard, Ottawa in 7 back, and face-off is coming up at 7. Had another trade in the NHL this afternoon. The Maple Leafs acquired Jake McCain, Sam Lafferty, and a pair of conditional 5th-rounders from Chicago in exchange for a conditional 1st-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, and forwards Joey Anderson and Pavel Gogolev. CFL news, the Ottawa Redblacks have traded the rights to linebacker Woodley Apollon to Edmonton for the 12th overall pick in this year's draft. The draft goes on May the 2nd. The Jays are in Northport, Florida this afternoon, taking on the Atlanta Braves, and the Braves are holding a 7-0 lead at the bottom of the 7th. Trevor Hutchison got the start for Toronto, gave up 2 runs in 2 innings of work. And this morning, the Jays added to their front office, naming James Click their VP of Baseball Strategy. Click spent the last 3 seasons as GM in Houston and helped the Astros win the World Series last year. From the Sports Center, I'm Alex Sixer.
Starting back at 0, that ain't gonna happen.
Wednesdays on FX and City TV Plus.
It's not so hard to build an empire. You need to know exactly who we dealing with.
You don't want to do this.
Wrong answer. It's not easy. I know who we can trust.
It's going to war.
Whatever happens next, it ends here.
Snowfall, the final season. Wednesdays on FX and City TV Plus. Available with Prime Video channels.
Hi, I'm Brian Berlot, CEO at Maxis Staffing and Recruitment. Are you currently seeking temporary or permanent employment? Maxis can assist you in landing the perfect position today. Profession, IT, administration, call center, assembly or trades, get the job you want. Visit maxis.ca, maxsys.ca.
Maxis has helped over 100,000 people get jobs. Let them help you. Get started today. Visit maxis.ca.
Here with City News, I'm Marie Gomez. 2 former advisors to the Prime Minister are reportedly calling for an independent inquiry into China's alleged interference in the 2019 and 2021 federal elections. The Globe and Mail reports these advisors, as well as NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, believe a nonpartisan public inquiry is warranted. Singh says the way to stop alleged secret Chinese interference is to refuse keeping their secrets for them. But one former CSIS director tells the Globe he doesn't support an inquiry because national security restrictions would mean an important testimony would have to be conducted in secret, meaning many details would never be revealed to Canadians. Prime Minister Trudeau says he's satisfied with an examination already underway by a Commons committee. Stateside, where the 2024 U.S. presidential race has now entered its first Democrat, and it's not President Joe Biden. Sagar Magani from the Associated Press has the latest.
Self-help author Marianne Williamson says she's running again and repeating the message she ran on 4 years ago, repairing America's trauma.
There are a lot more people in this country who love than who hate, but those who hate with seriousness, and they are politicized.
Williamson's the first major Democrat to challenge the president, who has not yet formally announced a re-election bid, but has long said he intends to run again.
I mean, how many times does he have to say it until you believe it?
First Lady Jill Biden told the AP's Darlene Superville last week the president's not finished yet.
Is all that's left at this point is just to figure out a time and place for the announcement?
Pretty much.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
And the U.S. Energy Department has reportedly concluded the COVID-19 pandemic most likely arose from a lab leak. The Wall Street Journal has obtained a classified intelligence report that was recently provided to the White House and key members of Congress, which cites new intelligence about the pandemic's origin. The Energy Department now joins the FBI in saying the virus likely spread via a mishap at a Chinese laboratory. 4 other agencies, along with the National Intelligence Panel, still believe COVID likely spread via natural transmission, and 2 are undecided. People who read this report tell the Wall Street Journal that despite the agency's differing analyses, the update reaffirms an existing consensus that COVID-19 was not the result of a Chinese biological weapons program. Traffic and weather together next.
There's a car outside, sitting in the sun, the rain, soon the snow. It hasn't moved in a long time. It's seen road trips, carried precious cargo, and been faithful. If your car has reached the end of the road, it's time to shift gears. Donate it to Kidney Car to drive research and services for kidney patients here in Canada. Enjoy the convenience of free towing and a valuable tax receipt, now a minimum of $700. Donate at kidneycar.ca. That's kidneycar.ca.
Canada's national pastime? Yeah, it's not hockey. It's creeping some real estate.
Ooh, I wonder how much that sold for.
Now at unreserved.com, you can see all current MLS listings while unlocking some agent-level access to historical sold data right in your neighborhood. Shop and stack side-by-side comparisons like never before.
My God, how much?
Sign up for free at unreserved.com. Browse anytime. Yes, even during hockey. It's all there at unreserved.com.
City News, traffic and weather together on the ones, now with Ottawa and the Valley's most frequent traffic reports.
I'm Jamie Montgomery with City News Traffic. Taking a look at the roads right now. We have light activity on the Queensway, the 174 as well as the 416. Some minor delays northbound Island Park approaching the Sir John A. Macdonald Parkway. We have some slight delays right now southbound Parkdale Avenue approaching the 417. Bronson is reduced to one lane in each direction between Laurier and Slater for construction until 5 o'clock today. And Richardson closed between Richmond Road and Byron for construction. During Leon's No Money Miracle event, pay absolutely nothing, not even the taxes or fees, until 2025. With 0% interest OAC. Visit leons.ca for details. With the forecast for Ottawa and the Valley, here's weather specialist Denise Andriachi.
Pretty quiet for the afternoon, but we have those clouds building in this evening, and then the snow begins overnight. We may see a few scattered flurries before then in Ottawa and Smiths Falls, but the main event is overnight through Tuesday morning and afternoon, and then we're partly cloudy by tomorrow evening. Now, the winds are also going to be quite gusty out of the east, and again, those really pick up through the overnight hours. We're looking at anywhere from about 5 to 15 centimeters of snow overnight tonight near -6.
We're giving you something to talk about on City News. It's the Talkback Hour.
Right after you wake up with Rob Snow, join David Smith for your chance to have your say on the issues of the day.
From 6 till 9, Rob gives you the straight facts
and his honest opinions on the day's news.
Then, we get to hear your views. The Talkback Hour.
Weekdays 9 till 10.
On City News 101.1 FM and citynews.ca.
Buildings should be designed for everyone, including the 1 in 5 Canadians living with a disability. Rick Hansen Foundation Accessibility Certification Training teaches those responsible for designing and managing buildings how to create inclusive spaces. Learn how to improve accessibility and inclusion for people with mobility, vision, and hearing disabilities. Residents of Ontario are eligible for free tuition thanks to funding provided by the Government of Ontario. Register today at rickhansen.com/courses.
Experience a new lease on lifestyle by renting a Lapine apartment in a neighborhood you love. Thrive in a spacious apartment home that comes fully loaded with built-in home office and features that you never dreamed of having in the suburbs. Enjoy carefree living with heated parking, a fitness center, pool and sauna, a games lounge, expansive outdoor green space, and much more. Visit lapineapartments.com or call 1-888-4-LAPINE to find your next home.
This is City News. A Romanian court has upheld another 30-day detention for the controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate. Tate is being held on suspicion of organized crime and human trafficking. He lost his appeal Monday against the judge's decision to extend his arrest for a third time, so it'll be another 30-day term behind bars for the YouTuber. Tate is known for his misogynistic views, which he spreads on social media to his over 5.2 million followers. His brother Tristan is also currently behind bars pending investigation into the same case. A planned launch of 4 astronauts to the International Space Station was scrubbed moments before launch. ABC's Mark Remillard joins us with more details.
With just minutes to go, the SpaceX Falcon rocket and capsule with 4 astronauts on board ready, the no-go call came in.
Hold. We're standing down due to a T-tab ground issue.
The launch of the space flight to the International Space Station was called off early Monday morning due to a technical error blamed on an engine ignition system. It's not clear when they will try again. The earliest opportunity will be early Tuesday morning. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once dominated the 29th Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards. CNN's David Daniel says the film took home 4 trophies, a first in the history of the Screen Actors Guild.
Jamie Lee Curtis began an unbelievable run for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, winning for Female Actor in a Supporting Role.
I love actors. I love acting. I love the job we get to do. I love being a part of a crew. I love being a part of a cast.
Castmate Kihui Kwan took the baton, winning Male Actor in a Supporting Role, the first Asian male to win an individual SAG award.
To all those at home who are watching, who are struggling and waiting to be seen, please keep on going, because the spotlight will one day find you.
I think if I speak, my heart will explode.
Then Michelle Yeoh took Female Actor in a Leading Role.
Yeoh is now the first Asian woman to receive the award for Best Actress. The film also won for Best Ensemble. Here with City News.
At the
News Business Center, I'm Ari Rabinovich. Within the final hour of trading, we still have a gain for the TSX, up by only 45 points, though, backing off from highs for the day. Still at 20,264, on track for a winning session to snap a lengthy losing streak. We do have Canadian financials moving slightly higher on Bay Street, with earnings all expected out this week, including BMO and Scotiabank. TD reporting on Thursday, too. And ahead of their report, TD is announcing they plan on paying out a more than $1.2 billion settlement for a lawsuit by investors claiming that TD aided R. Allen Stanford's $7 billion Ponzi scheme more than a decade ago. And this according to a regulatory filing. Shares in TD Bank on Bay Street down by 0.6%. Now, oil is on pace for its fourth straight month of declines, right now down by 1% at $75.60 US per barrel. There's a bit of a surplus in supply ahead of a facility maintenance season and keeping the price mostly lower, even though demand is expected to trend higher, especially coming from China and India. Gold futures slightly higher, $7, 1,824 the ounce, and the Canadian dollar up almost 0.2 cents at 73.64 cents US. Porter Aviation Holdings announced that they will be investing to expand Montreal Saint-Hubert Airport, adding 9 gates, and will serve up to 4 million passengers a year, and provide a secondary airport for Porter Airlines in Montreal, along with Trudeau International. Construction will start later this year and expected to wrap up in late 2024. Wall Street is in the gains column, but only slightly for the Dow Jones, still up by about 42 points. The S&P 500 0.3% higher, and the Nasdaq is up 65 points. At the City News Business Center, I'm Ari Rabinovich.
Please be advised, if you find winter driving distressing, the following is a real audio clip of a Subaru driving on an unplowed mountain pass in the Yukon in minus 23-degree conditions. Just listen to Subaru's standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive go to work on all that ice and snow. And that sound is our confident driver whistling Beethoven's Fifth, I believe. Visit your local Subaru dealer and really own winter with uncommon winter capability.
And now a tip to live more comfortably, courtesy of CarltonRefrigeration.com. Your furnace is responsible for your home's comfort during the winter, so it's important to know when something might be going wrong. Strange sounds, odd smells, or sudden heat loss are signs that you should call a professional.
And now your business travelers report. Montreal, snow, 1 degree tomorrow. Toronto, mainly cloudy, 3 degrees. In Vancouver, mixed precipitation, 4 degrees tomorrow. Calgary, light snow, -8. And in Edmonton, scattered flurries and -11. Number 1 for local news in Ottawa and the Valley. This is City News, 101.1 FM and 1310 AM. She's helping make Ottawa and the Valley a better place to live. Listen to the Sam LaPratt Show weekdays from 10 to 1. City News time, 3:30.
Number 1 for local news, traffic, and weather for Ottawa and the Valley. This is All News Afternoons on City News 101.1 everywhere.
Good afternoon. This is Monday, February 27th. I'm Perushka Gopal-Kista. Right now, Ottawa is under a snowfall warning, -6. It's -5 in Smiths Falls. Here's what's making news right now.
There'll be no more scrolling at lunch break.
All federal employees can no longer use TikTok on their work phones.
The feds have banned the app over cybersecurity concerns, and they want Canadians to reconsider using it as well.
Health advocates are deeply concerned that a controversial bill passed by the Ford government is overcharging patients for private healthcare services across the province.
What's the best way to address homelessness in Renfrew County? Elected officials wonder after a report on those who classify as homeless came in much lower than they thought.
Looking to close the gap in the East, the Ottawa Senators and Detroit Red Wings begin a 2-game series at Canadian Tire Center tonight, and the Blue Jays are back on the diamond today. Sports 45. North American markets are looking to make up for some of last week's losses, with gains currently on both sides of the border, and Canada is taking another step towards restricting TikTok business at 56.
City News time, 3:31 now. Traffic and weather together. Here's Jamie Montgomery.
Good afternoon. Take a look at the roads right now. We have westbound delays on the Woodsway from Chris. Eastbound on the Woodsway at Rochester. Eastbound delays on the 174 from Blair to Shaw. Northbound lanes reduced to 1 lane in each direction between Laurier and Slater for construction until 5 today, and Clearly Avenue closed at Richmond Road for long-term LRT work. During Leon's No Money Miracle event, absolutely nothing, not even the taxes or fees until 2025. With 0% interest OAC, visit leons.ca for details. With the forecast for Ottawa and the Valley, here's weather specialist Denise Andriachi.
Guaranteed high of -6 for this afternoon. We'll start to see those clouds mix in a little bit. The snow that we're expecting begins after the evening commute. We may see a few scattered flurries this evening, but the steady and heavy snow is overnight, down to -6 overnight. Periods of snow to begin Tuesday morning and afternoon. Overnight tonight, -6.
Right now in Ottawa, -6, cloudy skies, a snowfall warning in effect. It's -5 in Smiths Falls. City News Time, 3:32. As of tomorrow, all federal government-issued mobile devices will enact a full TikTok ban over concerns of information being compromised. City's Colleen Donahue joins us with more from the federal government.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the app is getting the boot over concerns about cybersecurity. He spoke to reporters this afternoon through a translator.
The federal government employees' work phones can no longer access the TikTok app because of concerns with security. For the government, we think that there are enough worries or preoccupations.
TikTok is owned by the Chinese company ByteDance. Officials are concerned the Chinese government could access the app's users' data, like browsing history and location, through that company. Now, employees will notice the app vanish from their government-issued device as of tomorrow. They were only notified today in a memo obtained by City News that read in part, TikTok's data collection methods may leave users vulnerable to cyber attacks. Carlin Donahue, City News.
Now there's concern that privatization is creeping more and more into Ontario's healthcare network. Our Jasmine Greywall is hearing from advocates who point the finger squarely at the Ford government.
The Ford government said back in January that the status quo was unsustainable when it came to the province's crippling healthcare system, so they introduced Bill 60. The controversial bill, also called the Your Health Act, was passed to increase capacity for healthcare services at private clinics and give them a funding boost so they can perform surgeries and diagnostics. Ontario's Health Coalition says when introducing this bill, Premier Ford said patients across the province would only have to pay for these private services with their OHIP card and not with their credit card. The group, however, says they have evidence from patients who say that's not the reality. The health group adds the government has done very little to address the health crisis in public hospitals across the province and instead continue to push for more private services. Jasmine Greywall, City News.
City News Time, 3:35.
City News Weather Alert.
Ottawa and most of eastern Ontario under a snowfall warning as about 15 centimeters of snow heading our way tonight. As we hear from City News weather specialist Denise Andriachi, the snow warning covers Ontario and areas to the south and east, while Lanark and Renfrew counties are under a winter weather travel advisory.
We are mainly in the snow zone here for Ottawa, but in Smiths Falls, some mixing is possible, and we'll keep an eye on that threat of ice pellets and freezing drizzle mixing in with the snow for early Tuesday.
While Environment Canada issues the warnings for the total amount of snow, it's also warning that the snowfall will be intense at times, up to 2 to 4 centimeters per hour. Stay with City News for the latest on this developing story. City News Time, 3:36. Now, snowfall and even climate change said to be some of the factors leading to the closure of the Rideau Canal Skateway. But this has now prompted a Carleton University professor to collaborate with the NCC to focus on ice growth on the canal going forward. City's Andrea Bennett joins us with more.
Sean Kenny is Professor and Associate Chair of Undergraduate Studies in Civil and Environmental Engineering at Carleton University. He says climate trends as well as snowfall contributed to the canal's closure this season.
Primarily in the background, there's these issues of